Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Hope you are doing good. So today I'm going to be talking about Obsessive or Yandere male leads. But before we begin with the video, make sure to subscribe and like the video. Now let's begin our list. Coming at number 1, we have I Became the Villain's Wife. Girl group idol Shin Kongrong wakes up next to a naked hot guy in bed. She realizes that she has transported into the universe of a Marisu fiction, yet she is not the female lead. It turns out that she is the vicious supporting character that won't even make it to the halfway through the book. And the naked Hank is her villain husband who will die alongside her. But she doesn't want to die yet. It's a very funny story with a lot of chibis. The female lead is honest about her feelings and she is strong and confident. It's refreshing. The female lead seems pretty cool and the male lead is cute. It's fun to see her interaction with him. I like the fact that the male lead does things with consent from the female lead. The manhwa is funny and we can also see the female lead simping for the male lead every time they see each other again. It's also good to see the original female lead and the current female lead being friends. The beginning was a bit confusing, but it's getting better and better, so yeah, give this a try. Coming at number 2, we have I Failed to Abandon the Villain. The main character reincarnated as the daughter of a baron within a novel she read in her previous life. Thanks to that, she knew that the boy her father brought as a slave would massacre the barony. She would meet a horrifying death and the ending of this world. She worked hard in order to avoid that miserable fate, but everything was for naught. In the end, at the hands of the one who awoke as the Grand Mage, her father and all the servants died, and she thought that she was going to die too. But to her surprise, the villain takes her with him to the Mage Tower. She then realizes that the villain of this world began to become obsessed with her. The female lead, Valida, who began to verge away from the original work, became closer to the dark truth of this world. The female lead seems smart, not the kind of female lead that will stupidly care about the plot of the original story and ruin her life with her own hands. She looks like she will put herself first and make use of any opportunity that comes her way. The characters are both broken, twisted and distorted, and I like the male lead not simply because he is a yandere and hot, but the way he chases his target, the female lead Valida. I actually have high expectations from the story. Let's see where the plot goes. Coming at number 3, we have I Lost the Leash of the Yandere male lead. The female lead transmigrated into a novel and became the villainess Serena, who comes from the noble ducal Melfort family. As a well-to-do character, she tried to mind her own business, but the story had other ideas. Her self-proclaimed mother brought back a boy who is the Duke's heir and a genius wizard. Her mother intends on brainwashing and blackening him. The contents of brainwashing are 2 things. First is to obey her family and second is to fall in love with Serena. The male lead is very obsessive and literally submissive to the main characters. If you're here for the yandere, you won't be disappointed. The story seems promising so far. The dynamics between the male lead and the female lead is the most interesting thing about this manhwa. The male lead's intense hate and love for the female lead, and wondering just how much of his love is real and how much was artificially created, really keeps you on your toes. Unlike other transmigrated main characters who turn super OP and solve all problems in one shot, the main character is weak, helpless, and unable to do anything at this point of time. I feel this is a realistic change from the usual trope, and how she goes about trying to achieve her goals is pretty nice. If you are looking for a story with heavy angst and a complicated romance, this is a good one. Coming at number 4, we have Lillian of Tutti. The male lead suffers from having too much mana as in he broke the mana measurer when he was barely a week old. This drives him slowly insane if he can't use it to get rid of the overflow. The insanity comes from the excruciating pain the mana overflow causes to his body, especially it gives him horrible migraines. The main character, on the other hand, suffers from a lack of mana in her body, which puts her life in danger since the mana level is intertwined with the life force. She was 12 when discovered that her brother, being compatible mana-wise and having a wealth of mana, can give some to her to increase the mana in her body, thus prolonging her life expectancy. So both the leads suffer from life-threatening conditions that are polar opposites. One day, she saves the male lead after she finds him in the mud outside her carriage. The male lead is close to gouging an eye out to relieve the pressure he feels from the mana overflow. But when she touches him for the first time with a pat on the head, his pain suddenly subsides. That is why he clings to her hand to get relief. At the same time, unknowingly, her body or mana flow recognizes that the male lead's mana is more compatible than her brother's, thus making her brother's mana useless. Now her mana only wants the male lead's mana. The male lead is hot, naive, but obsessed like a Yandere. In my opinion, many things are just so hastily explained as of now, and I just hope some of the confusing parts get explained thoroughly. I like the male lead and his cheeky and narcissist personality and how he blushes when around the female lead. The art is gorgeous and the characters are lovable. I love her doting brother the most. Coming at number 5, we have I Became the Tyrant's Secretary. After falling into the world of a novel, our heroine, Rosalind, is determined to change her character's outcome. By knowing the story, she becomes the secretary of a tyrant in place of her clumsy brother in order to save her family from a bad ending and to survive. But not only does she have potential for the position, she is darn good at her job. Because she served the tyrant so well, everyone will have a happy ending, and after her 5 years of service, Rosalind is looking forward to quitting being a secretary and living a leisurely life. Or so she thought. But when 5 years passes and she tries to resign, the emperor refuses her resignation. The female lead is realistic and well-rounded, making decisions that shows her strength in her past life and the qualities she acquired in her reincarnated life. The plot is different, unique, not so much to the point where you would categorize it totally differently from the typical historical romance manhwa, but it's still immaculate and quite enjoyable. The male lead is comically narcissist. The female lead is kinda dense and the male lead is a bit childish, but I like it. This reminds me of What's Wrong with Secretary Kim. Coming at number 6, we have The Tyrant's First Love. So the story goes like this. The female lead is a maid who has no memory before arriving the mansion and was abused there for 4 years and only had one friend, the young master of the house, until the male lead appeared. Apparently, the male lead was searching for a woman he loved in his previous life. I guess you could say that he knew the female lead in his previous life, but since she has amnesia and had no memory of it, he wasn't too sure it was her, but of course he quickly caught on, so he was sure it was her since she told him she has amnesia. The art is amazing, the details on the eyes and especially the main character. The characters are lovable. The male lead looks like a child when he blushes and the female lead is bold. It's engaging and the art is captivating. I recommend it to anyone who loves vampire content and wants an easy reading manhwa. Coming at number 7, we have Perfect Mind. So basically, the female lead Navi is known to be Miss Popular at school, but she lives in a broken home with her psycho mother obsessing her to always get the first place. Now she has this strange hobby of taking pictures of dead animal carcasses. She is both pretty and smart. Things begin to change when a transfer student, Hyo Sanjun, grabs the first place. As if robbing her of her spot as the first place wasn't enough, he ends up catching her taking pictures of dead animals. Unexpectedly, Hyo Sanjun confesses to Baek Nabi, who is pretty much clingy and just loves her to death. Both the male leads and female lead are very unique and strange with peculiar habits. The male lead has a switching personality, like he can turn from sweet to the scary type. The art is beautiful. This is pretty much a dark and twisted romance indeed. I hope you all have a good day. See ya!